Welcome to the business end of the Intel Extreme Masters EU and Africa Qualifier Day 2. The winner of this winner's bracket semi-final gets himself a place at Gamescom. But which one of these two Zergs is it going to be? Spawning in the top left position as the pink Zerg player representing Team Extreme Supremacy, it's Elazer. His opponent spawning in the bottom right-hand position of Terraform, otherwise known as the Cinnamon Bun Swirl of the map. Ladies and gentlemen, from Team Acer, it's Nerchio. And we have the pool first coming out from Nerchio. It looks like a hatch first coming out from Elazer here. Now, not too much in the way of difference between these two openings, by the way, because the pool first will mean you get the queen first, so you can inject the hatchery, you get more larvae out earlier. That's cool. And that kind of makes up for the slightly later hatchery. Whereas you get the hatchery first, okay, you don't get any queens anytime soon, but you have got two hatcheries producing larvae, so it more or less evens out to about the same thing. It's kind of two paths to the same goal. Both of these players know that there's a lot on the line right now. So we'll check to see what the tech paths are going to be, what the players are going to choose to run with in this game. A lot on the line. Now, the loser of this best of 3 series is not out of the qualifier yet. This is the winner's bracket semi-final. Just a refresher for you guys, there are 3 qualifying spots up for grabs today. 2 from the winner's bracket, so this is one, and Happy versus Mana will be the other one. And 1 from the lower bracket. The winner of the lower bracket final, which will get played, also qualifies. The winner's bracket final will not get played, because after all, the players who reach the final will have qualified. So there is still one more chance for these players if they don't make it through now. But falling into the lower bracket just means you have to defeat more people, and it's really quite frustrating. So these guys want to be able to end their day here being able to say that yes, they have qualified. And therefore, there's quite a lot on the line. A couple of Zerglings here trying to be as annoying as possible. Looks like a queen will be able to mop at least one of them up when it pops out. No, they're actually turning around, so fair enough. And this queen not going to be able to get that one Zergling, so Nerchio gets a scout off without the loss of a Zergling, and Elazer immediately off the back of that goes for the Baneling Nest. So super aggressive. As soon as those Zerglings were out of sight, the Baneling Nest went down instantaneously. And Elazer looks like he wants to get aggressive. However, Nerchio has also started his own Baneling Nest, so we are going to see a knife fight ZVZ, ladies and gents. And it's one of those games where one micro mistake costs you the entire game. Which one of these players is going to blink first? And I don't know. I mean, both of these players are very, very good players. And it could really go either way. The Baneling Nests are actually going to complete approximately at the same time as well. A couple of lings here just chasing these scouting Zerglings away from Nerchio's point of view, and he is producing 12 lings. Only 2 coming out for Elazer right now. So he looks like he's going to be the defensive player. He's got a Spine Crawler coming up as well. Nowhere close to as many Zerglings right now. And, oh, it looks like he's seen a few more Zerglings popping up from across the map. Oh, and a lot more there. If that doesn't spur him into action, nothing will. 8 more Zerglings en route now. And, yeah, we have defensive Banelings here, no doubt, just going to be covering the ramp and stuff like that. Spine Crawler is going to be nearing completion as well. Nerchio is looking to try and get as aggressive as possible here. 4 Banelings coming in. Oh, and that's not good. The Banelings exchange themselves for each other, but it's 4 versus 2. And Nerchio has a slight ling advantage right now, but 2 more Banelings are coming into the mineral line. This could actually end up being very decisive. This group of... Those group of drones look like they were almost completely surrounded, but only 2 workers have been killed, not quite able to deal the finishing blow there that would have killed 5 or 6 workers. Number of workers now 38 to 36 in favor of Nerchio. Things are beginning to stabilize. We have some Zerglings out in the middle of the map for Elazer, potentially for a counterattack here. There is no Spine Crawler defensively for Nerchio, but he has got more units. 17 versus 11 Zerglings. And not quite enough Banelings to make a huge difference because Nerchio has at least 5 defensive defensive banelings right now, so it tends to be okay. All of these banelings morphing in are going to get cancelled. Nerchio is going to try and do a bit more damage, but Elazer's reinforcements aren't going to put an end to that. Ooh, losing 5 or 6 Zerglings there to a couple of defensive banelings, and we also have the third base being cancelled simultaneously. Nerchio bringing his lings to bear. Elazer trying his best to expand behind that, but proving to be just a little bit difficult. Setting out a second drone now. More Zerglings out into the middle of the map, but Nerchio might be smelling blood. He's coming in for round 2. A Roach Warren is on the way for him as well. He is not interested in making a third base. He wants to finish this right here, right now. Oh my god, banelings everywhere. Those 5 banelings cancel each other out. This is purely a Zergling fight until these banelings morph in. Oh god, they do morph in though, and about half of them go down instantaneously. There are 3 defensive banelings here for Elazer. He's waiting to see what he can do with those. Spinecrawler is there in case those things decide they want to go into the main base. One of those banelings goes off, kills off every single one of those Zerglings. Really good hit there by Elazer. Needed to do that defensively. It's 41 versus 38 worker supply right now, with Nerchio having a slim advantage. But the third base once again is going down here for Elazer. He is determined to push this through. A Roach Warren is complete for Nerchio though, and a follow-up attack could start incorporating roaches into the mix, which would negate any advantage that the banelings have, because they are just so much more hardy in terms of units. Banelings everywhere right now. A lot of explosions going down. It looks like at least one of them is going to get blown up as well, which leaves just the one more trying to pick off this third base. Unfortunately, an awful lot of Zerglings here are going to have to go down for this to be possible, and it looks like there are only 3 Lings left picking away at this third base location. But you know what? If this gets cancelled for much longer... Oh, never mind. I spoke too soon. Another cancellation at the third base. Once again, Nerchio counter-attacking. These guys constantly counter-punching each other, and we have units inside the natural expansion as well. Workers killed 4 versus 4. This game so far, this really is a knife fight at the moment. This third base still not getting cancelled. Down to less than 1/4 hit points now. More banelings coming in to the base here of Nerchio, and Elazer trying his best to see if he can kill off a good number of them. This queen out in no man's land right now, and these overlords look like they're in for a tough time. This one might even go down. Hopefully that doesn't supply block. This third base now not going to get cancelled, but will go up with about 1/4 hit points, and with this many Zerglings moving out across the map, that could be dangerous for Acer's Nerchio. But he's got a lot of roaches in. The Lurns have to come in. They have to kill the hatch and they have to leave. There is no other way right now. Good micromanagement. The roaches won't be able to kill it off in time. The Lings are going to be able to get out. Excellent snipe there on the third base. Nerchio has done that to Elazer twice now, but Elazer has now repaid the favor. Nerchio at 71 to 65 supply. He's got a lot of roaches. The roaches are going to be extremely difficult to stop. But Elazer finally has a worker lead. It's 43 versus 41, but the question is, will that matter? With these roaches moving out across the map, is Elazer going to be able to contain them? He has a decent number of Zerglings, actually, so he might be able to. We will wait and see. He's blocking off paths towards his base, wanting to buy as much time as possible, seeing if he can grab the roaches out in the middle of the map. He spots where they are now. He doesn't want them in a big ball, because the ones in the middle get protected somewhat. He wants them in a long line, so he is maximizing his surface area. Right, more Lings getting produced from Nerchio now. He really wants to try and end this game. 14 more Lings and 9 Banelings. This is about to get serious from our Team Acer player here. He's morphing them quite far away. These roaches, plus a Baneling Cocoon, makes it very difficult for Zerglings to wrap around, simply because the roaches are going to be able to use that Baneling as a bit of a shield. There are roaches of his own for Elazer right now, though. 12 versus 6 in favor of our Team Acer player. Where are the Banelings from Nerchio? There they are, and that means that these Zerglings can no longer wrap themselves around. Is Nerchio going to get a third kill on the third base for the third time? And Baneling goes off on all of the Zerglings. They're actually on very low health thanks to those upgrades. They didn't die in one hit. But Nerchio is coming in with reinforcements right now. These roaches are starting to get a little bit low. Roach numbers actually evening out at the moment. 14 versus 13. And the defensive player Elazer is able to thwart this. They are neck and neck. 89 versus 91 supply right now. And this game has been nip and tuck, constantly on a knife edge. Non-stop action so far. Finally, we get a bit of a lull in the action. Both sides have gone up to roaches. Let's take a look at what kind of tech they've got as well. Identical tech even. And both sides have 1-1 with +2 attack, almost the same as well. So taking 2 very different routes to the same path. Nerchio definitely being the more aggressive player, but now Elazer trying his best to squeeze as many units out as possible. And Nerchio is coming in for another attack. Roach's Banelings. He actually is at a supply disadvantage right now. Elazer's all the way up to 117 with a 10 supply advantage over Nerchio. He's now moving forward with roaches. He's got that roach number count up. He's gone all the way up to 31 versus the 19 of Nerchio right now. We'll see how well that does for him. The Banelings are getting sniped off in the back of this pack, unfortunately. Nerchio not able to use those to his advantage. He's got another small pack of roaches on the underside here, but there's not an awful lot else going on for Elazer right now. He pulled back a large group of those roaches, and he's actually going from two different directions. Now, if Nerchio can surround and kill either one half of this army, that could be very, very dangerous here for our Extreme Supremacy player. Nerchio is trying to do just that over here on the north side. He's moving his roaches in. Elazer's doing his best to pick off just a couple of them. And what is this looking like on the south side? Elazer has a fantastic concave near this rock tower, actually. Nerchio is trying to push his way in. The rest of the army for Elazer is coming in for a flank right now, but Elazer is actually having an okay engagement. Nerchio is coming back. Oh, excellent concave against here, splitting his army almost perfectly. And I think Nerchio, as a defensive player here, is going to be able to hold. Nice little pick off of the queen before Elazer moves back as well. And this is not going to be stopping for a while. 20 more roaches in production from Elazer, another 10 from Nerchio. Trying to squeeze a couple more drones out as well. Elazer actually having the drone advantage at the moment, squeezing out half a round of drones in the middle of all that melee. We've got 51 versus 54 right now, still very nip and tuck. And, whew, well, Nerchio moving back out around. I wonder if we're going to be seeing Burrow from either one of these players just to be able to heal up in between these engagements. Is that going to give anyone an edge? +2 attack is going to finish at more or less the same time for both players here, and we'll be looking to see whether anyone is thinking of going for 4th base anytime soon. +2 Carapace immediately getting started by Elazer. Nerchio being a little bit more lax on the upgrades, but to be honest, they're the same at the moment. The difference is not big right now. And finally, for what seems like the first time in a long while, it's all quiet on the Western Front. Both sides chilling out, waiting to see what the other is going to be doing. We have a Hydralisk Den coming down for Nerchio. This hatchery got gunked up. I want to know if, in the process of getting gunked up, the Hydralisk Den was seen. It was not. So Hydra's incoming for both sides, actually. Elazer, though, has started his Hydralisk Den about, well, just under an in-game minute slower than Nerchio here. And looks like the Evolution Chamber with the +2 armor is also getting gunked up here, but Elazer still has an advantage in terms of that upgrade. On the other hand, we'll be able to get Hydralisk faster for Nerchio, and that DPS boost to the army that Hydralisk is able to offer over the Roach might well be more than enough to counteract the difference of a potential extra upgrade for Elazer. Plus, that extra upgrade is going to take another 2 minutes, basically, to come to fruition as well. So 10 Hydras on the way, only the 4 for Elazer right now, but that +2 Carapace, as I said, will be ever present if we don't actually have an engagement in the next couple of minutes. A 4th base has gone down for Nerchio, and he's attempting to take the gold as well. He's going to spur Elazer into some sort of action here. He kind of has to, and that's exactly what Elazer is doing. He's now knocking down the rocks that he sought to protect himself with earlier, and he is going to go full on to try and cancel this gold base. Is Nerchio aware of it? Well, not just yet, and actually, if he's careful with his roaches... Oh, he's not that careful with his roaches. Okay, he's marching across the middle. Well, that means we could have an engagement here. We need to be a little careful at least. Creep getting popped down. Hatchery at the goal for both players. Yeah, no opportunity to cancel that. Nerchio instantaneously forcing that cancel. Now, is Elazer going to put the pressure back on by cancelling this gold? Well, the gold base is actually going to complete. So Nerchio, his goal now is going to try and eliminate this army right here. Is he going to be able to do so, though? That's a lot of Banelings coming in. They actually only mainly go off from 3 or 4 roaches. That's an excellent initial engagement. Elazer trying to go from 2 sides. Nerchio, though, with a much, much bigger individual army. Elazer cannot fight over here. He absolutely cannot. He needs the concave here. He needs the concave there. Nerchio seems to have a larger army on both fronts right now. Very difficult for Elazer to engage. And oh no, that might mean that Nerchio finally has a foothold in this game because he is able to get the gold base down. So let's take a quick look at the unit numbers. It's 54 versus 44 roaches. It is 10 Hydralisks versus 13 Hydralisks. 1 Baneling versus 0. That 1 token Baneling, that hero of the army right now for Nerchio, is not actually able to do anywhere because it's stuck waddling in the back. Fair enough. Both sides vying for position right now. The gold base once again going down for Elazer, but Nerchio is having the opportunity of mining from his first. If we take a look at the income, Nerchio is comfortably ahead right now. The gold base just providing so much more in terms of income. Both sides more or less maxed out. There is a single upgrade advantage for Elazer right now. Nerchio has not got his +2 armor complete yet, and he's gone up to 209 supply as well. Whole bunch of static defense getting cancelled so that he can overpop. And he's going up to the infestation pit, but not as fast, once again, as Elazer, who's gone up to the infestation pit and is most of the way through pathogen gland, so that's going to be most excellent for him. 11 more roaches on the way, and I'm just waiting to see when the infestors start popping. So this is the kind of game where we're going to have a massive fight, where whoever is able to get the more effective chain fungals will have a big advantage. Nerchio has the economic advantage early on. Spine crawlers going up for what that's going to be worth. Nerchio coming in now. Elazer can't actually afford to be too far apart from this, and Nerchio wants to force the engagement. Is this going to be a wise idea for him so far out from home? I don't know. Elazer just patiently waiting back. Nerchio wanting to get the perfect concave. Elazer saying, actually, mate, I'm perfectly happy staying where I am. Both sides now on 2-2. Oh, these roaches on the other side are magnificent from Nerchio. He can just come in, kill, and go back out. Good fungal growth, but not able to chain them, unfortunately. And it looks like Elazer's going to have a little bit of difficulty, but we also have harassment going on over here as well. These roaches are going to kill off quite a decent number of workers, and they might be able to pick off the queen as well. Needs to really target fire there. Nerchio now putting the pressure on this gold base quite a lot. And we have the fungals for one side, but not for the other. Those are absolutely massive for Elazer right now. As he punches through Nerchio's army on the right-hand side, the rest of the army will rejoin here, but at significantly reduced capacity. It doesn't look like it's quite enough to push Nerchio back. They're both neck and neck in terms of supply, though, at more or less 180 each. Those fungals did a lot of damage to Nerchio's army. He's got a lot of DPS with the Hydras in the back, but it's not... I can't believe it's not enough, to be honest. Elazer must have thought he's done everything he needed to do to push this back, and at the end he actually had to temporarily pull drones off of that gold base. Such a dangerous position to be in. Workers killed only 15 to 12 in this game. Nerchio only on 48 workers and only 3 mining from the gold right now, versus Elazer, who's on 51 and is mining just a little bit more at that additional gold base. 3-3 on the way for Nerchio, and I fear later on this could end up being a big differentiator, because Elazer has not started his 3-3 upgrades. Nerchio now fully coming in on this side of the gold minerals, really trying to use the geography of his map to his maximum advantage here. And it looks like Elazer's going for a counterattack, but Nerchio is so much closer to his base. I wonder if this is the correct decision. Elazer has to commit to it now, though, otherwise he's just going to accept losing an awful lot. Nerchio instantly going down one base. He's going to move straight into the natural expansion there, that he wants to be able to kill this ASAP. Which one of these players is going to blink first and move back to the other's base? I think both of them are just going to go for it at this stage. I don't really think there's much of a choice. The time spent moving back out through the middle of the map is so large right now that I can't see it being worth it. Just the 2 Hydralisks here at the gold base location should be enough to pick off this hatchery. And Nerchio now spreading his forces, killing off the natural expansion, killing off the main base as well by the looks of things. And we have a group of units slowly coming back, but it won't be in time for to save his own base as well. Both sides absolutely ravaging the other. It's 26 minutes now, ladies and gentlemen, in this winners bracket semi-final, and we've got a ZVZ base trade. This is pretty insane. We even have drones here from Nerchio attacking the Hydralist, and everyone wants to get a piece of the action here. And Elazer at the moment doing a very good job of cleaning up all the buildings. He's actually put down a hatchery in the top right location. Not quite in the correct place for a hatchery, but it'll do. Any building will do at this point. He's also taken an extractor inside the old main base of Nerchio as well. So he's just biding his time and making sure the buildings do exist on the map. Nerchio, in the meantime, though, is moving back out across the map. Needs to be very careful, because these infestors have a lot of energy, and Elazer can actually do a devastating blow to this army if he's able to get a bunch of chain fungals on even half of them. Looks like Elazer is actively hunting at the moment as well. And Nerchio has to be very careful. He has to spread his units thin. He has to be very wary of what might be going on. It looks like all these guys are long distance mining, even though... Wait, I'm so confused. That's a red hatchery. We have pink... Okay, Elazer... It looked like they were both mining from the same hatchery for a second there. That was very confusing indeed. Roach Warren and hatchery going down here as well for Nerchio, trying to rebuild. Number of workers left, 28 for Nerchio, 11 for Elazer, by the way. And not quite optimal mining position, but I'm not sure that's 100% matters right now. Here comes what might be the final engagement. 2 fungals go down. They are most excellent fungals, but he needs a lot more than that if he wants to win this engagement. Still a lot of energy left on the infestors. More chain fungals coming down now on the right-hand side. And Nerchio, is he going to be able to plow through? There are a lot more Hydralisks for Elazer at the moment. No, GG, Elazer just about manages to squeeze it out. And 28 minutes after this game has started, Elazer takes game number 1 of this best of 3 series to move 1 game away from qualifying for the Intel Extreme Masters main event at Gamescom.